Shall we start?
I'll be in about 20. Start.
Okay. I'll just give a brief summary of last session to those of us who are here. Recording is going, hopefully. Right. Last time, we have succeeded in our little heist. The clouded Avernian skies turned turbulent and restless as the news of your deeds spread across the planescape. No doubt by now Zerial was made aware of the loss of her flying ship. The very land boils and the hot winds rise as the Archduchess rage bends the elements. You, on the other hand, get to roll in the spoils of war, now 20 soul coins richer and holding on to the multiple treasures you recently acquired. You reflect upon your recent acquisitions and successes at the Stygian docks. Utilizing stealth, subterfuge, and the aid of some fellow warlords, you infiltrated a flying fortress, killed the skeleton crew, and rigged its storage of fuel with a trap for bitter breath.
Oh, no.
The operation was a success, and bitter breath was perished. He just perished in an explosion and collapse of the warship. His remaining crew escaped. Your actions sent ripples outwards throughout Avernus. Where one warlord falls, another is sure to rise, both in power and infamy. It won't be long before wanted posters featured a band of renegades in infernal armor who dared sabotage the forces of Zerial. Following the heist, Aiden had decided to pass Gargoth, the hidden lord, into the hands of Shemeshka and her Akanoloth hegemony. He named his price and received a rod of absorption in return. Time will tell if this trade was a wise choice, but one thing is certain: the tides of war have shifted in the favor of the neutral evil faction. Ecstatic with her recent acquisition, Shemeshka now awaits your return to her domain with her subject, Bazik, as you set your sights to a place of his imprisonment, the pit of Shumrath. And just on cue, I'm gonna call it, now that I'm done the summary, this is where Will is gonna join. Does anybody have any questions about what happened last session?
Nope.
You know what? While we wait for Will, we'll do this bit here. You find the Queen of the Cross Trade lazily lounging on a camelback sofa, intently reading a scroll of parchment in her hands. With a raised brow, she says with a hint of derudition, "You made quite the reputation for yourselves." As she turns the parchment to show you a titled article in her hands. I actually have this handout. I made it available earlier this week, but I'm not too sure if people saw it or not.
I didn't get a chance to read it yet. The Tribune?
The Tribune, yeah. Ooh, panic. Oh, don't panic. I placed the pit of Shumrath at the very top for some reason. 1 second. There we go. And there it is. Written in infernal runes, this whole newsletter stretches onwards and downwards like a scroll, unraveling one headline after another. While we wait for Will to come here, I can read these out loud, or you can take your time to just kind of glaze over it. Up to you guys. Does anybody want to like role play out reading this?
I've been literally reading it the whole time. Say, Viren, what do you think of this? Looks like we got off scot-free. Sorry, you're not Viren anymore. Aiden.
Yeah. Looks like we got away with it.
You know, I think we committed what you people might call a war crime.
Pretty close, not exactly.
Not exactly. What is a war crime to the elves?
Nothing important for Avernus.
I suppose not. Viable point. I believe a war crime here would be a viable tactic. You see this? She's offering promotion if anyone brings him Corvic's head. That could be a way in. I fold up my paper.
That was mine, but that's alright, you can keep it. I'll just pay for another one.
A promotion to any devil.
Bless you.
Didn't you know I'm trying to become a fiend? I thought we went over this.
You guys can like
Look,
pretend this is a podcast and read it out loud. That way other party members are on the same page as you.
what do you want me to read?
I don't want you to read
Okay,
anything.
what
I'm just saying. I'm just suggesting.
Okay, Viren, do you think you have the better reading voice, or do you want my grisly, awful voice to do it? Aiden,
You want to read the entire document?
I will read the entire thing.
Go.
I think I should read it.
Are you sure? Can you put some enthusiasm in your voice? Do it. I want you to deep throat that microphone.
Gross.
I want to hear every reverb of that fucking uvula going back and forth as you speak. Let's go.
Yeah. Aiden will take the newspaper in his hands and clear his throat. Goes, yesterday at Stygian Dock 38 was closed off by order of the Archduke Zario. Information is still sparse regarding what exactly happened to the maintenance station, but here are the facts we have gathered so far. An explosion appears to have ripped through the midsection of Her Highness's flying fortress, the Tartarian Absolution,
Yeah,
undergoing
don't forget to
repair,
breathe.
killing the crew within. The ship was under charge of decorated bridge officer Nargila, who served under Zario in the war against the demon incursion for over 3 decades. This person remains were found and the wreckage returned to Valkyrie's Point for resurrect. Oh shit.
Oh shit is right.
Eyewitnesses say they heard the screams of Stygian Dock's engineers Lance, commanded by Optio, and the head engineer, as they were assailed by none other than pirate warlords and wanted criminal Master Gideus. Ooh, they know about him. The Mind Flayer and his crew of savages. No bodies could be identified amid the acid-eaten deck. Hang on a second.
I take the paper back. Verdian authorities released a statement that Gideus most likely did not work alone. Evidence suggests the attackers infiltrated the fortress using Zariel army uniforms, and suspicion falls upon Princeps Kolvik, who publicly blamed his superiors for the 8th Infantry Legion Terror Incarnate defeat on the banks of the River Styx. Got some phlegm stuck in there. His particularly cruel methods have attached many to flock to his banner, forming a marauding gang militia of devils no longer beholden to the infernal hierarchy. Zerial made a public announcement offering promotion to any devil who would bring her Prince Epkovik's head.
Attached to that is an actual picture of Prince Epkovic.
Wow.
Like a wanted poster with a nice reward, wanted, in infernal runes written below it.
This guy looks like he floats good. And by good I mean bad. Nice picture. Additional arrests were made upon the capture of resistance spearhead Druma of the Fire Giants, whose involvement in the destruction of the HHFF, the Terratiran Absolution, shocked many fans of his. Drama was most notably known as the reigning champion of the famous Karen's fighting belt. God, I'm going downhill fast. Zerial's judgment was swift, and Druma was sentenced to hard labor.
Hector's eyes slowly crossing over, like
putting his brawn to good use for our glorious and righteous blood war. Hey, then they got the giant.
Jeez, they didn't escape. What happened?
I suppose when you're carrying your wife's corpse, you might be a little distracted. Anyways.
Do you think this will have, do you think this will hinder the arrangements that we made with Ash?
No. I think we fulfilled those arrangements. I think this will give us an opportunity to make more money.
Okay.
Reason break number 2. What is that word? In a...
presser.
Jeez.
You know, when you have a whole bunch of like mics pressed up to like one like political candidate.
Is that what that's called?
Presser.
I hate it. In a presser this morning, Mahadi of the Wandering Emporium, a longtime supporter of Zerial's cause and close friend of Druma, had this to say. I would like to offer condolences to our brothers and sisters in arms who share in this loss. In these times when chaos seems to invade from every angle,
I would like to extend my business to all patrons who would seek comfort in it, and ensure the security of all, during a time when betrayal of trust and backstabbery has become commonplace. Come and find rest in the infernal rapture, the perfect place to plan revenge for your fallen comrades. Let us unite as Legion and track down these treacherous scum before they find a new foothold for sowing chaos in these already dark times.
You know, we should go find this journalist and blackmail him.
He's not offering any discounts for staying in the Emporium. He's just like, hey, you should come over.
Come over.
It's like
Netflix chill.
Yeah, come Netflix and chill. Vampire fugitive escapes arrest following murder of Justice Harriman.
Oh, this is about the boy that we picked up, Jander.
Yes, Jander. Also, what is this about Bashii armies? It doesn't look good. You know anything about this? Eden? I don't know why they're gathering. That doesn't look good. Perhaps we should pay a visit to the monument of Tiamat sometime.
Tom.
Yes.
Did
Runaway
Hector
manslave?
Did Hector have anything to do with return of emissaries from the Material Realm? I don't know if he was like involved. I mean, not Hector, Mork.
Was Mork involved in what?
Because I know Mork was like involved with the Tiamat religion before we came to Avernus. Is this something that he had influence on, or is this just something that's going on?
Well, first of all, that will be your guess, right? But Mork didn't get to do much in Avernus before he died, and he was a newly joined member of.
Himself nobly.
Right. Before his death, Mork was just a lowly initiate. This development seems to have, like the way it reads, seems to have been going on for quite some time, and is now kind of reaching an escalated point. So this was developing way before Mork had anything to do with Avernus or Tiamat's cult.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right. Shemeshka swirls a cup of tea above her palm, stirring it with one of her long nails, and gives a
Do you know anything
tasting
about this runaway manslave, Shemeshka? What is a manslave? I do not understand.
I would imagine it is when you take a mortal and make them your own forever, branding them in a contract to serve you until they eventually die, and then maybe raising them from the dead so they never find rest. So much you can do with a mortal.
I don't like that. Ooh, single half-orc. Very nice. Wonder what her name is. Do you like half-orcs, Aiden?
Not particularly.
Damn, they taste really good. Anyways, enough of this. You can have this back.
Thank you. She takes it back, sipping from a cup of tea. When Olga's right, she's right. Arsenic does give it an extra kick indeed. Well now that you are old, titled renegades, one criminal to another, let me give you a tip and recommend you get moving. I wouldn't want you to be caught before you delivered on your promise. I think we let Bazit marinate in his jail cell long enough. I suppose you'll need some information before fetching him for me.
Yes.
You see,
Aiden,
during
do you
his...
know how to write?
Hmm?
Do you have paper? Write this down. I don't know. I don't do the writing.
She snaps her fingers, and the large fellow, the large Narzigu, kind of rummages and like behind his back in a satchel on his belt, and brings out like a worn scroll. Looks at it, has a little bit of ink on it, spits on it, wipes it clean, hands it to you. By the time it's to you, you can always see like the spit has evaporated from the heat of this place. Go ahead and add one piece of parchment to your inventory if you're writing this down.
Writing down.
You see, during his reign, and up until this day, Bel was taught to always be fond of coming up with cruel punishments for those who would challenge him. Long ago, Bel imprisoned a rival peat fiend named Shumrath at the bottom of a deep chasm, into which he had a section of the river Styx pour into. Over the years, poor old Shumrath, his mind got bleached over, and he has been reduced to a fetid lake of slime. I've paid a brief visit to the place myself, me being a keen traveler. It's been a thing to behold, to say the least. Ancient regenerative properties maintain some semblance of life within the sludge. I was even able to communicate with Shumrath, telepathically that is. Alas, due to the nature of the river Styx, communication with Shumrath was polluted, for he had a polluted mind, which retained only seconds of memory and holds only hatred for Bel. He just kept repeating the same thought over and over again, how it failed to show proper deference to Bel and will have its revenge or something like that. Well, it turns out that Bel revels in some kind of irony. Some of his prisoners are subject to baths in the slime. As much as I revel in Bazit's suffering, I require him by my side.
Okay, great, but like this is not important. I need details of the pit.
What do you wish to know?
Backstory is touching. Everything you know about it. Never been there. In fact, I'd argue no one here has been there, except for you.
Have you not been listening? I've just told you I've traveled there. I've communed with Shumrath himself.
Yes, please. Tell me details about the pit.
What is it to say? It is a green slime that has some sentience to it. Of some old god
slime.
who's nothing but pudding at this point.
Old
Looks
god
worse than my
made pudding.
breakfast.
Tasty question mark breakfast.
Okay. If you wish to taste it, you can be my guest, but not before you return to me,
taste you?
Bazit.
No, wait, that does not go in there. Wrong. Continue.
If you wish to sense it, taste it, touch it, swim in it, I could care less. You will not be get paid if something happens to you, and I will not be held accountable.
So, guards, No? Yes?
God, certainly it is a prison after all, but worry not. They are quite dim-witted and pathetic-looking, almost as pathetic as the sludge itself.
Do they look like Boppo?
She looks over at the Dragonborn. Well, let's just say that Boppo does not look like them yet.
Understandable. Okay, unlike Boppo
Yeah.
guards.
I believe eventually any who commit sin eventually turn into these beings. One with muck and slum and the formless agony that is your mortals' final destiny.
What kind of prisoners are kept there?
I only care about my subject Bazit. I would imagine other prisoners of Bel are also kept in their cages.
Okay,
Necromancers, crypt
Maybe be
keepers,
handy.
occults of the abyss.
Would you like a couple necromancers to add to your ranks?
I do not deal in undeath. That is your
Aren't you
realm.
immortal? In a sense. Isn't that how that works with you people? You get the souls of the people that signed the contracts with you.
You confuse me with devil kind, Illithid. She kind of smirks and like he springs a little bit of her fur. I am of Hades. I am of Gehenna. I am of the neutral good. Evil. Misspoke. Sorry.
You are kind of fluffy.
I'm not
reach
good
out.
for you. What a-
I reach out to touch the fluff.
She just smacks your hand like the aristocrat she is. And in fact, no. You know what? I have the Shield of Gargoth now. Go ahead and roll me a dex save, will you? As you reach out to touch her, she kind of raises a brow, lifts her finger up, and shield? Is Shield of Gargoth on Mirror Magic items? Oh yeah, it is.
I fixed it. Do I see it coming?
Sure, you see it coming. She has no indication of showing otherwise.
Cool. That's a natural 20.
You dodge just in time as a little bead of fire charges forth from her finger and explodes outwards, sending you reeling back as you take half of a fireball's damage.
Oh, it's only I was raging. Hit me, baby.
You do not touch royalty. I gotta
Is
say,
anyone standing next to me?
Hmm?
I think technically Eden was standing next to me because I took the paper from him.
You see the fire as it explodes outwards. It kind of wraps around you, barely missing you as you dodge out of the way, and kind of dissipates as if she's slowly gaining meta magic control over the spell itself. And they are growing quite well on me. I gotta say, this is quite the dandy handy thing.
I can't wait to start the session with half health. Let's go.
Right. She kind of caresses
Whatever
the
that means.
brooch that is the shield of the hidden lord at her neck. Shemeshka takes a long drag from her pipe and blows a series of rings in your face. Going on now. Fetch.
You're talking to Babo, right?
No, she's blowing those smoke rings one after another into your face.
I'm not a dog. Rather offensive. I'm a much higher being than a dog.
If you are waiting for me to beg for your help, I am afraid I will disappoint you. After all,
Of course not. You're paying us to do this. I would never
yes,
expect you
quite
to beg.
handsomely at that.
Any other details you think might be useful? Just before
You
we
gotta
leave?
ask the questions, man.
So I asked about guards, kind of prisoners. Where is your prisoner located last you checked?
You can't miss it. You will proceed in the direction, and she kind of, if you show her the map, she can show you where to go, pretty much. It's not too far from here, relatively, if the land will be in your favor. But, if you follow Elturel's star, it will be like a reference point of sorts. Bell is not keen on changing the location of his prison, want to find it quickly, And Asmodeus' will complying, it does not change, almost like a central pivotal point. As for the prisoners and where to find them, not too far from the gate itself, you will come to a large iron fencing, 100 feet tall, 30 feet thick. Beyond the gate itself are the cages.
Of course. And one last question here. Do they use normal locks?
What is normal in Avernus? She preens.
Understandable. Alright.
You will have a
Mind
set
if
of
we-
skills about you. She points to the rogue of the party, to everybody who has previous skill in their life in picking locks and that. I'm sure you will utilize all your party members in this task.
I hope so. How are we doing on health and spell slots, guys?
Doing great.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad for you.
We long rested.
Me too.
Oh, did we?
We long rested
Yeah.
last time, yeah.
Great. Well,
We spent a whole day
onwards.
doing stuff. Yeah. Okay. You get aboard the Black Tusk and guide the ship across the lake of igneous rock. Once safely across, Little One carries the infernal war bikes one by one off the ship and onto solid ground. Oh, also I would like to mention that unfortunately Trent will not be joining us going forward. He's taking a little break from D&D. In terms of Levi, Levi will be staying with Mordenkainen to sharpen his arcane skill and figure out a way for you guys to get out of here once your task has concluded. So, you know, Levi might be popping in and out throughout the campaign, but Trent just needs a little break from things.
Can I take a short rest before we leave? I don't
We
wanna
took
be
a long
that-
rest. You're refreshing everything,
Well-
my man.
Okay.
It's the 9th, like, of Elent, meaning 8 days since you came down to Avernus. You guys took a
That's
whole
better
day.
than 59, I guess. Okay.
What is better than 9? You're at full health.
I was not at full health when we started.
Why not?
Oh, 59 is not your full health, right?
I was at 75, and then I took the 16 damage, and then it went down to 59. But Tom said we were at full health, so I then subtracted that from 101, which is better than 59.
Right. Little One carries the infernal war bikes one by one off the ship and onto the solid ground. Lulu shields her ears from the sound of another soul destroyed. You guys ignite the engine into life. The chorus of screams emanating from the collective blazing engines of your war machines echoes in the wake of ash and dust as you begin the arduous journey through the bleak, fire-scorched Avernian salt flats. These the bleached soil cracks beneath your treads, and like a guiding star in the distance, the lightning-enveloped void surrounding Elturel's companion pulses with dark energy on the horizon. With this resonating, it seems that whatever the companion is gaining energy with the days to come, and you can kind of see from here how Elturel is sinking lower and lower into the horizon. From beneath the earth moat holding the city aloft, you can make out flashes of hellfire cannons and the tall silhouettes of twin flying fortresses firing down upon an endless legion of demons swarming from the river Styx, a dark set of concentric, thunderous clouds, cloud rings spiral in the sky above, and now and again huge burning balls of fire rain down from above onto the demons below as you set course for the pit of Shumrath.
Gotta love them burning balls.
Does anybody wish to do anything in the 9 hours of travel you have ahead of you?
I'll make a Tears potion.
Out of, just curious.
Oh wait. Who?
Oh wait, I can't.
I'm double checking if I have anyone's tears on me.
I can cry right now for you.
I don't need your tears.
As you check for supplies for tears, you feel as time draws on through this hot Avernian weather with wind blowing, cracking your lips, you start feeling rather parched. And to your horror, you realize that you are fresh out of water moving forward.
Oh.
Unless you have anything, something to consume, you fear the worst. Suffering, exhaustion.
Does rations
Why?
like something we can consume?
Rations composed of dried nuts, dried figs, and berries that to this point you're surprised how they lasted this long. Tasting of ash will satisfy hunger, but alas, not thirst.
Do elephants drink water? Just brains, right?
The elephants, yeah, they drink water.
Do they?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
why not?
Because they eat brains.
So,
So,
Brains have water.
yeah, you can receive sustenance from one source and another. I don't see how you
Cool.
cannot drink water.
Please don't give me exhaustion again. Not again. Not 2 days in a row.
Arwen, can you cry for me?
He might be too parched to cry.
I
tell me a
have
sad story.
dude, I'm just Aiden takes out the what's this thing called? The handy spice pouch, and he like reaches like a few fingers in it, grabs some like onions, and he like just tosses it towards
Onions and spice.
Erwin, do
Like
you wish to
onion
make a
powder.
dexterity
Onion
save
powder.
against that, or are you good?
Yes.
like onion powder.
I will dexterity save. Fuck that shit. Fuck
So, here's what I'm gonna do. As you speak to him and reach into the onion powder, roll stealth for me, Aiden. If your stealth beats his primary dexterity, he'll take the lowest.
What do you mean? I'm just trying to make him cry. I'm not damaging him with onion powder.
But he's trying to dodge
Tell me
for
a
whatever
story.
reason.
Because I don't want.
I don't want to cry.
No, I don't mind crying. But
Irwin, do
that's
you mind
story.
roll me a dexterity save if you want to save against it?
Oh,
Or you can roll me a constitution save, take in the face, and see if you can resist crying.
no.
It hits you straight in the face, man. You feel those tears start welling up. You feel your nose start to itch. You feel a sneeze coming on.
I
Aiden's taking out his
Alright.
vials.
hard all over the fuck.
Been turning
Wait,
up
what'd you
a little
say?
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, Arrow, what are you using for a mic?
My phone, as usual.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, my earbuds on my phone, but yes, same difference.
It's kind of turning up to 100%. Hope for the best.
Oh, okay.
You get a little bit, just a very tiny bit of onion-soaked tears from Erwin.
Alright. Gonna make myself some serious tears with that.
Fair enough. Whoever is atop the Black Tusk's crow nest, go ahead and roll me perception.
Raven?
As you kind of drive past the Avernus salt flats that transition to like rust-colored earth, rocks the color of chalk and crimson sprout from the ground. Occasionally you drive by a collected pool of fetid, bubbling demon blood. With a 15 perception, Raven,
Wait, your perception -2?
apparently,
Jesus fuck.
you see... If you're talking and we can't hear you, Will, just so you know.
Is he even here?
He's here. He rolled. He can
He's
hear me.
here.
I just can't hear him.
Oh, okay.
With a 15, you see an infernal war machine about 100 feet ahead. One of its tracks has been ripped apart, and the entire metal carapace is bludgeoned and dented inwards. Sifting through the wreckage is a top-heavy bipedal figure creature with 5 heads on long necks, leaning on a crooked staff held in one of its hands. Its spiked tail bears several golden rings that gleam against the light of the skyfire above. The creature looks stranded.
Can I see what it looks like?
This is Raven perceiving. If Raven's not gonna say anything and the ship's gonna keep going, you'll be able to be close enough to see it. Like at that point, you'll be like about 100 feet away from it.
Hey, Raven.
Like, that's
Yep, guess keep driving.
His mic's not working.
Hector, you can go ahead and roll me perception if you want.
Sounds good, boss.
Thank you.
He said he's relaying the info, but he spelled it incorrectly.
Okay.
yeah, I was like, I'm looking at it like that's fucking. I was like, that's the finish, dude. Like, damn. Well, because you can't get it off, like, unless it's just if it's.
I'm just gonna put him on low until it puts himself on push stop or something. But anyway, Hector, you see the following. The figure is as I described it, very top heavy, 5 long necks with heads on top of them, and very tiny legs, and it's one hand is grabbing onto a staff that it's leaning against. It seems to be kind of rummaging the front side of this warship before you.
I honk the horn.
You honk the horn, and it slowly lifts itself onto its feet from a very crooked position, turns around, and you see that it looks over its shoulder, but the 4 other heads, 2 on either side, are very static, motionless, and just kind of looks over its shoulder. Do you stop the ship, or do you keep going?
Friendly?
Stop the ship. Doesn't matter
Stop.
if they're not friendly. There's only one of them. We might as well talk to him. See what it wants.
Stop the ship.
You stop the ship and bring the engine to a low murmur. You see from
Can you
this
guys hear me
distance.
now?
Yes.
Thank fuck.
You see the creatures knelt before the machine's hood, poking at a half-eaten corpse wedged beneath the very machine. Satisfied with the stillness of the corpse, kind of like pokes it twice with his staff and then turns towards you and spreads his arms wide and then makes a little gesture for you to come closer. Looking from this distance, you can see that its head is hooded, but where its eyes are, it's just wrapped in this dark cloth.
Guess I get closer.
Are you like getting off? Are you like getting off the ship and walking towards
Yes,
it?
I'm getting off the ship and walking towards
Aiden's following him.
As the two of you make your way toward the creature, it turns around fully, and you see it is in fact an amphibian scaled creature whose snake-like tongue flicks out of a long, draconic snout. His eyes are bandaged over with dark purple cloth, his face hidden beneath a hood. Flanking either side of his head upon each shoulder are 2 lifelike serpent heads that jiggle and writhe as he moves. The various bells and metal medallions hanging from his thick robes ring out as he shifts his weight from one foot to the other, placing both claws upon the staff.
Do I see any Tiamat symbols?
Gleaming at his neck is a single dragon paw pointing its claws in 5 directions.
Be you one of Tiamat's new summons? I hear they're gathering an army. The first time in a long while.
New summons I am not, for I am ancient. But of Tiamat we are. I am called Dweez, emissary of the Dragon Queen. I seek that which from the Dark Realm's constellation did give birth, secrets and children of Mother Earth. In armor's coat, the protection it gives to lie beneath that which lives. If you're here to rob me, I will suggest you reconsider. Attacking Tiamat's Wyrmspeaker leads to an end most bitter.
Well, actually, I was going to consider offering you a ride.
What happened to your ship?
This machine isn't mine, for I have no use for such things. I travel the land by the aid of dragon's wings. No, this machine belongs to an envoy of Zariel, carrying supplies to the Volcano Forge and mines of Lord Bell.
Did you take this one out?
I have found him dead in the dirt, among the scraps, oil, and mud.
Fair.
No, I am no killer. I am on a mission to seek out those who would dare steal treasure from my mistress's hoard, to retrieve that which was taken and ensure it safely stored. An easy task, truth be told, for in truth, all belongs to her platinum, silver, and gold.
Someone stole from Tiamat recently?
He just taps his staff twice on the hood of this war machine. Just ting ting.
What did they steal, Wyrmspeaker?
I look for offerings. Have you any? Something that lusters, something that sheens. For my queen.
You know, I do. I have this blessed amulet of Tiamat.
What kind of study is it? Tiamat has grand plans for us all. He kind of you offer it to him?
Yeah, I don't really do the whole punchy thing.
Are you offering it to him from like 20 feet away?
I will approach the creature.
Raven, as you slowly approach with your bike, do you look for anything specifically?
Look for water.
That or any other tools?
Are you proficient with land vehicles at all? Is that like one of your proficiencies?
I don't think so.
Okay, then in that case, as you're looking around, you can go ahead and roll me just like an investigation check, see what you could find as you're looking for any water or anything.
Oh, fuck me. Cool.
Okay. With an 8, you check all the obvious places. You find beside the driver's seat, among the blood-stained leathers of the seat and the broken glass, you find a small flask with some liquid inside it.
Would I notice that like Raven's investigating the ship?
Oh, for sure. I mean, like, I don't think Raven's doing anything to be stealthy about it. She literally revs her engine up. Yeah.
Can I check it out as well?
Sure. So with Raven pocketing or leaving that flask behind, you can go ahead and roll me an investigation.
I was just gonna throw it at him.
You throw it at Aiden.
What? Wait, what?
Just yelling, "Drink up, bitch!"
Oh my god. I cast a vial of water.
It's a dark iron, like infernal iron, a very familiar iron with a slight rust at its base and a swiveling cap that seals it. Cap is closed. The liquid inside contained feels about half full, about 4 quarts of the stuff. Well, not 4 quarts, that's too much. About a pint. Do you do anything with this information?
I just put it away in my bag for now. And,
okay. Mark it in a way that we can identify it later, like where we found it stuff. That way I don't forget.
Yeah. And I'm gonna look around his ship as well.
Sure. Are you proficient with land vehicles by chance?
No.
Okay, so just an investigation.
I'm proficient with land vehicles, I think.
Why wouldn't you be? You own a ship.
It appears I am not proficient with land vehicles somehow. No, I am. It's in my tools. Land vehicle query.
There you go.
What am I querying?
You can.
Want some help there, friends?
Yeah, you can give him like advantage on a check if you wish.
Go ahead. You have advantage now, friends. Please.
As you guys investigate around the ship, are you looking for anything specific, or just whatever's by default is gonna come up?
I am looking to see if there's like a hand or an eye laying around that looks
I think this
a bit
corpse
out
has
of
a hand.
ordinary, but you know, anything just in general.
So with a 14, you know it's above the average. If you're looking for a hand or an eye, there's a crushed corpse beneath the ship right beside where Dweez is standing. The corpse belonging to a devo whose species you don't recognize, so you have never encountered this species before, holds onto a ring of keys once one of which seems larger than the others. There's a hand. It's bipedal. It's by not lateral. Whatever you say. Somebody who has two hands. In terms of eyes, one of its eyes is crushed because one half of its skull is crushed beneath the ship. The other one is still intact and open and staring into the void. The corpse also wears a miner's helm that has like, you can kind of read Infernal upon it, even though it's like kind of has guts and blood all over it. You can kind of make out the engravings. It says "Make Avernus Great Again," just carved into the front. And there's like a candle holder at the front of this miner's helm that has a half-burnt dark wax candle with like infernal runes upon it.
Ooh.
In terms of the ship itself, the infernal war machine, like all infernal war machines that are dangerous and temperamental, this machine was pushed to a breaking point, and with a little bit of like Hector's insight into infernal machines, you can see that it seems that the driver was trying to perhaps outrun something and failed, just pushing this machine to its very limit. Hector,
Ooh,
do you like want to like open the
can I
hood
make an
or like?
investigation check on the tracks? Because those are pretty big. Would I recognize the vehicle that might have made them? And then I'll take a look under the hood.
Would you recognize the vehicle that might have what?
Ran this thing off the road.
So you inspect for damages. Kind of looking at the tracks, perhaps like, you know, you see like this caustic smoke coming from the front of the hood, which has been like dented, like into a concave kind of shape from the front crash. It seems the Soul Engine has ruptured, burst into flames. The explosion just cascaded and destroyed the steering mechanism along with the tracks. It just exploded from the inside out, which ultimately caused the vehicle to skid and crash.
They boosted too hard, I think.
Whatever was chasing the vehicle caught up with it, it seems, and took out a big chunk off its side. The driver, it seems, tried to hide under the war machine, but it was been just crushed beneath it as something big stomped on it from above and dislodged the entire track. So whatever caused this was either a very large, perhaps, war machine or something larger. It was bigger than this vehicle.
Very nice.
So that's the corpse, that's the vehicle. If you want to roll an investigation check, Hector, and get higher than 14, I might have more.
I will try. Will someone?
I'll give you an advantage because you have vehicle knowledge.
Okay, I mean, I have a -1 in investigation, but come on, dice gods.
It's still advantage. Advantage is like +5 to your check.
Nope.
What I told you is what stands out pretty much.
Could I try to assist him in that?
He already had
No,
advantage.
already have advantage.
Buppo, are you proficient with land vehicles?
Proficient with land
It's
vehicles.
under your tools over on the left side.
Just under your passive
am.
perception.
You are? I'm gonna give you
I
an
am.
investigation check with advantage on this because even though you're not too familiar with, you've been on from war machines and you're not like a master of them. you've seen enough to kind of draw parallels between what you've seen before in the material realm and what this place has for. After all, it's been a good 9 days you got to be in.
All right, let's see.
Just a nice investigation with advantage. Let's try and get higher than 14.
Oh my!
You get the gist of, this is a wreck. It is what it is before you. There is a trailer attached to it by a few chains that seems to be under lock. There's the engine at the hood, and there's the seat. It's a 3-sectional thing, but this thing is not looking like it's gonna run anywhere from whatever it is been running.
What's in the trailer?
Okay. Looking as you step kind of like past the relatively fresh tracks, you would know, like, with the wind blowing, that, like, tracks would cover up pretty quickly in Avernus, but these tracks are relatively fresh, heading off in the direction of the trailer behind it. The trailer is battered and looks as if something tried taking a bite out of it. It is locked by an infernal iron lock and has a simple keyhole shaped like the open maw of a devil, ready to accept the key.
Could I try to break the lock off?
Sure.
Hang on, Bob.
Athletics check. I'll give you advantage if you have some sort of like a tool to use.
I heard an opposer.
I think we have a key here on the corpse.
Don't worry about that. I'll just smash the lock. I got it, boys.
What? Okay. Do it,
It might not work. It might not work. You said an athletics check?
Athletics check. Advantage if you have some sort of tool you're using.
Doesn't he have his giant fucking hammer that
Yeah, he has his own cheat, man.
Great
Let him
loot.
play.
I got the great loot. Can
Okay.
I just slap it with that pretty hard?
You mean the great axe?
Yeah, the great axe.
Which is the great?
But I called it great loot because
Okay.
it's part loot.
Yeah, I just
as
wanted
well.
to be clear. Okay, cool. Yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll me that athletics check with advantage.
Slap.
You wedge it, and you realize that any angle you're trying to wedge this giant axe from, the lock itself is only about 3 inches in length from height, and then like 2 inches wide. It's a very tiny lock, and you can try just hitting it, and you give it a few hits. You manage to loosen it a little bit, but it doesn't dislodge quite all the way out.
Aiden will take the keys from the dead guy's hands
I tried.
and then go over and just unlock it.
Okay.
He's
so
like, that it's okay. We don't need to break it.
I tried.
roll me a d20.
Ah, shit.
Oh, exactly why I didn't want to use the key.
I like to ready a shove action to shove Viren in case
That's
anything
meta.
bad happens.
You manage to open the key without incident. You hear a very strained clicking noise, and then click, the key
Nice.
breaks in the lock, and you're holding onto its handle, but the lock unlocks just the last moment with the rest of the toothy bits inside it and falls to the ground. Inside the trunk of the trailer, you find the following: a light hammer, 2 miner's picks, so it looks like they're pretty sturdily, professionally made, a little bit worn. You need a little bit of sharpening, but they look like they're not like cheaply made. Blacksmithing tools, 2 small topaz gems, and let me look up what this looks like.
Did you say locksmith tools?
Can you roll me a 1d4 while I'm looking it up, please? Yeah, you find blacksmith tools.
Oh, I thought you said locksmith. Okay.
Roll the 1 for that 1d4.
You find a singular iron tube that ends in some sort of like a warm material, a soft clothy material at the bottom, and the same clothy material at the very top. The tube is about a foot long, so you can hold it in one hand, and it's nice and balanced. You shake it, it feels like there's a little bit of powder inside. At the very end of one of these tube ends is a short wick, or a like a black wick that extends an extra 6 inches outwards and curls.
So, when you say a wick, I'm thinking of.
You can
that
draw it
can
on the
be
map,
used to, like,
and I'll correct you if you want. I can draw it out, but I mean,
I'm thinking like the cooking utensil you use to like mix ingredients. Is this
That's
right?
a whisk. This is a
Oh.
wick, like of a candle or a
Oh, okay.
firework.
All right.
Or an
it's like a
explosive
tube.
stick
It
of
has
dynamite.
very soft material on the bottom, same soft kind of like hashy material on top, as if made from some sort of cloth, and then a singular hole in the middle of that cloth and like a curly wick coming out of it, like so.
Ooh, I know what that is. I'm gonna take that. That's gonna be mine.
I don't. Okay.
I claim it. I call dibs.
Oh, also I forgot to mention at the very bottom of it is also seems to be like some sort of infernal iron spike, as if it's meant to be like wedged in the ground, like so.
Stab something with it, light it, run away.
You mentioned there were 2 gems in there.
Two topaz gems, very raw, unprocessed, but still in the rock. They're about palm-sized, and the gems are kind of glisten between the rock, as they're freshly mined.
Nice.
Does anybody want the topaz gems? Can you use that
Yeah.
as a spellcasting component?
Maybe. I'm taking them. Yeah. I'm also gonna take one of the pickaxes.
Sure, go ahead and add it to your inventory. It's a miner's pickaxe. That's exactly what it's called. I have the stats for it. If you need them right now, I can let you know. But it is a 10-pound miner's pick. It's pretty hefty.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
It's 10 pounds.
Yeah, it's meant to
That
be
could be
held by both hands. It's quite large. Looks like it's well made too. Like it will fetch pretty price if sold to back home, so to speak. It's just designed to concentrate the force of blow in a small area, and it's if you have other uses for it.
Apple, can you do it for me?
Can you carry it? My weak wrists cannot handle it.
Right. Back home, I had other people to carry shit for me. Okay, I can't be dealing with that shit.
I mean, it looks like you still got people to carry shit for you here anyways. Is there any difference between here and home?
I think that's kind of his point.
Anyways.
Apple, are you there?
So,
Yeah, I am here. What's up?
Can you carry this pickaxe for me? It's 10 pounds.
10 pounds.
Can you
I
actually not
possibly
carry
could.
that? Would that encumber you?
Yes.
I mean,
Oh my
I'm
God.
already encumbered, but I can go a little bit more. I'd be at 146 pounds
Hector.
gear.
Fine, I'll carry the fucking pickaxe.
Thank you, Hector. Look, I wouldn't take it if I didn't think it couldn't be useful later.
Well, it's not gonna be useful in your hands.
Won't be able to swing it.
10 pounds, you say?
Yep.
That thing's probably
Weak.
heavier than the character itself.
Anyways, Wyrmspeaker, did you happen to run this one off the road?
Nah. Whatever ran this one off the road was much bigger than I. Perhaps not as powerful, but much more savage in its ways. When I want for something, I ask. He kind of fiddles with a miner's helm, picks the brains out of it, looks at the
Very
candle,
clever.
and kind of decides that it's useless to him and puts it gently on the hood. So, have you an offering for my queen? Something that lusters,
have
something with a
two.
sheen.
I have this tiara. It's quite nice. It
Tiara?
would look fine on one of your heads. Yes, the
Remind
one
me.
that allows me to cast
Oh, the circuit.
Scorching Ray.
The circuit.
Yes.
A fine
tiara.
treasure indeed.
And this amulet of the law that I showed you previously.
How did you come to find such a thing?
If I believe correctly, this one came from a half-orc monk that passed away fighting some.
Know your name
dragons.
so we may commemorate him in his memory as I take away his treasures and put them to good use.
Eden, what was the half-orc's name? Mork?
It was Mork.
Mork.
There are many who shall win Tiamat's favor before death, and as a reward will find their souls transformed into us. And he kind of caresses his own maw. It is our duty to serve her and her pleasures in the 9 hells. I shall deliver this to her. I thank
Could you
you.
put a good word in for me? I aim to make it there someday and seek patronage in a way.
He pockets your offering and retrieves a small shard of jade from within his robes and hands it to your slick, mucousy hands. Tiamat has a grand plan for us all. Seek us out and aid in Zerial's fall. To find us, present the shard to that which is over fire and over stone, over water and over bone, shining out like jewels in the night on a sheet of purest night.
Thank you. I don't know what any
One
of
more
that
thing.
means, but
Do you know where the Tower of Arkan, the Cruel, is?
He taps the jade piece. If you be true and worthy, you will find it. Seems that the answer lies in the piece he just gave you to that exact question. But that is where he originates.
well then,
I
pleasure meeting you.
He offers you any magical services in return he can, in exchange for these gifts. For after all, a fair exchange is fair.
Do you know how to create water?
Simple task.
Everyone,
Would you be
Get
able
your-
to create a
get your water skins.
I require a container.
Do we have any empty Igor containers in the hall, Tom?
Do you? Do you have any remaining?
I mean, I do have Igor canisters remaining.
How many?
I gotta find it.
It's on your sheet, man. I told you.
I'm
you're
looking.
tracking them.
I have 5 that are currently full, and I had 6 previously, so there's 1 empty one.
Do you wish to use an eco container to fill it up?
Yes.
Does everybody else wish to do that?
Aiden will ask for some water within his water skin, but
What's this shiny rock? Shiny rock.
Where are you at?
A little north of the map, center-ish.
Looking at the crimson
Shiny rock.
stone, it seems to be crystallized blood, as if something has bled onto the earth and it bloomed into this plant-shaped crystal, like a brush.
Oh, but
That's pretty cool.
clean.
Off.
Do you possess the spell purify food and water?
I do not require it. A container, please. He extends out a hand, and held in his other hand is a Chris dagger with a wavy sort of blade that ends in a very fine point.
1 Igor canister coming up.
The Corcaster or Eden's container first?
Aiden will just hand him like his container while Hector's getting the eagle container.
He just looks at you, which you're surprised to see that his face turns directly to you, even though his eyes are cast in cloth. Kneel.
No, thank you.
Not addressing me with gratitude for receiving life's blood. He pricks the tip of the kriss into his palm and twists as blood begins to stream down. Do you wish to die? I've seen once die in these lands. Shrunken like grapes in the sun. Do you deny my gift? Just offers you a bloody fist.
No, I would happily accept any gifts.
Then kneel before her glory and witness the miracles of Tiamat.
Aiden kind of like looks over his shoulders briefly, and he's like
pride over your life,
goes
boy.
down to kneel. He like slowly goes down to kneel. He obviously looks like uncomfortable doing it. Like this is his first time.
Yo, guys, got the. Oh,
Mom grabbed the camera. He opens up his fist, letting the stream slowly stream into your container as it fills with this crimson fluid, and you watch the stream turn from this crimson color to this radiant cyan to transparent water. As I mean, he can do a 5x5x5 cube of water with one spell slot, so he easily fills it to the brim and over, and he just keeps it. As you hold it before him, he just keeps overflowing it.
I fucking shoved the other
Aiden
container underneath.
eventually like pulls his canister away and says thank you while getting up, and like closes it.
As the water fills the jug of Ecor that's been emptied, but God knows if it's been cleaned. I'm gonna go ahead and roll 20 real quick. Below 10. Awesome. You see the liquid within demonstrate a very grayish color with flakes of black within. Fills with water, and he seals his fist, curls his claws, and the stream ends. Opens his palm, the wound is gone.
Thank you very much. The gifts of Tiamat provide, I see.
An equal exchange. I hope of seeing you in Arkham's Tower.
Yes, I look forward to it.
Anybody else wishes to interact with this individual before moving on?
What's your name, by the way?
Dweez. Xanirel.
Dweez. It's been nice meeting you.
There's a little like metadata if you wish to know more. But there you go. Right. He retrieves like a 10-inch orb of jade from his inner robes, and you kind of see that it has many chips shaved from its outer surface. One of those chips now in your hand. The rest of the orb seems to be whole. He focuses upon it, and the orbs begin to form a thick, swirling mist within its semi-translucent confines. And then you hear it in the distance. You never thought you'd hear the sound, but you recognize it right away. A dragon's roar piercing the skies above as a shadow darts across the land above you, over you, dominating and large. A moment later, one of these beasts lands before Dweez by his side. As he says his farewells, he mounts the beast and continues his hunt throughout Avernus as he takes off. I wish I could just like... Oh, I can roll for it. Awesome. 1 of 5. Of course I roll max. Anybody anything?
Ow. My ears.
I think that answers it.
There you go.
Cool.
Ah shit, where's that meme Tom sent me?
Meme?
I was half joking.
Ah, okay.
Half joke.
Right. Dweez mounts the beast, says his farewell with a bow, pocketing the... You can go ahead and remove those items from your inventory there.
Already done.
And sets them. If nobody else says anything else, he will just make his way in this direction. Away.
That's a sick dragon.
Agreed.
Bappo's half dragon. That's cool.
You see some signs.
Technically.
It came in already.
Well, friends, enough wasting fuel. Let's get back to the pit, shall we?
You hear a very strange noise. Oh, weird. I didn't play it. There we go. You hear a very strange noise as you step towards the ship. Kind of echoing in the distance.
To like the left, the right.
Go ahead and roll me perception.
Oh lordy, he coming! Perception. I don't like this noise.
Don't like it either.
I do not like that.
You look around and about the
Can
direction
I
where...
run up to the mast?
Yeah, climbing up the mast and looking toward the direction where the tracks came from, you see a small hill and you note small crimson streams coming from multiple fissures in the rock.
Everybody get on their ships.
At first you feel
Doesn't sound like you wanna deal with
the
that.
ground tremble beneath your feet. Then you hear this heavy sound of gargantuan footsteps.
Baron, get on the pole. I'm driving. Get out of there, kid.
A rusty creaking sound accented with the metallic clanking of chains emanates from the source of the footsteps. And turn to face it, you see something humongous just round the hill. With a 15, you manage to glimpse metal-like skin, spike-covered, and it was gargantuan, 2 stories tall and just round the hill.
Okay, great. Not going in that direction.
Three.
I thought it was a giant infernal chicken. Okay.
Have chicken for days.
What do you guys do?
Going to the pit, right, guys?
Yeah, let's keep going.
Okay. Hector, you're navigating, right?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and roll me 2d4s
Oh god.
as you navigate.
Does anybody have any extra soul coins? I'm fresh out. I don't. Nope. I still have one left. We're good.
Didn't I give you one?
A long time ago.
Yes.
A long time.
Journey ahead takes you an extra 7 hours as you begin to feel the toil of the land. Thankfully, with some water handy, Aiden, you have no issue in circumventing the effects of exhaustion as you cool it with your magic and take a drink.
Oh yeah. How much water is in the eco canister, by the way?
How big are the eco canisters?
I don't know.
Did you put them on your sheets as the size?
I imagine they'd be like barrels, aren't they?
Yeah, they're barrels. They can fit a small like an infernal chicken in.
10 pints.
10 pints?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I give a pint to everybody?
Anybody who will take it.
Because who wants a pint of water?
I do.
3. Okay, so that's 3 pints. So I'll say there's 7 pints of water left.
I'll take one.
And then Raven will just kindly just toss a soul coin.
Oh, no, sorry, there's 6 pints. Oh, yeah, so coin!
I'll
2
use a pint of
coins.
water.
Who drinks? First.
I drink first.
Drinking first, you feel the sensation of water down your gullet as it quenches your parched insides. Go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Sounds good, boss.
Thank you.
I'll drink second.
While water tastes kind of odd, doesn't seem to have any wry effects. Drinkable. The flakes are a little bit funny. There's a little bit of crunch to it. Bob will go ahead and roll me the Constitution saving throw as you fight off the effects of exhaustion. And again, you've drank weird stuff before. You've made drinks that were weird before. This isn't the worst of it. Still kind of tastes like ash. I mean, same thing. Best case scenario, you have a refreshing glass of water. Did anybody not drink?
Arrow's drinking, aren't you? 2 Jesus.
Same thing?
Jesus.
I would say it's good ale, but honestly, it's just ashy water. Luckily enough, whoever cleaned this container of Ecor did a pretty good job where no traces remained enough to be active and flesh-morphing. A risk taken, a risk rewarded. For about 7 hours, you come across a field full of similarly broken vehicles. Some more worse to wear. It seems that whatever walks these lands seems to just maraud and destroy these. You manage to kind of slow down ship and wind your way past this graveyard of war machines. If you don't stop or anything, do you just make your way straight to destination?
If nobody else objects.
You don't want to see if we can find like any more water and other tools at the within.
I mean, to be honest with you, Viren, devils don't drink water.
True. Let's keep going.
Okay.
Can I check to see if they look like there's any intact weapons we might be able to strap onto the tusk?
Where?
The massive amount of wreckages as we're driving past?
Sure, you can certainly try and investigate. I imagine you stop the ship.
Sure.
And go ahead and roll me that investigation. You
sake.
take a good hour looking around among the wreckages. Some of them are half buried in the sand. You do find a front fender that seems to have like spikes long. Well, we're talking like 7 feet long spikes, one after another, raging a little radiant array before it, meant to just impale whatever you drive before it. The way they're rusted, they can probably be broken off, giving enough bend, but they're not a weapon per se. They're more like just junk welded onto this spiky car. You took 1 hour to investigate around. I'm going to roll and see if I get higher than 10.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Well, looks like nothing but trash around here, guys.
Wait, since we were looking around for an hour, can I have done so anyway? Just so I'm not like sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah, sure. Awesome. With a 20, you find the following. Curiously enough, you note a palm-sized chunk of forged iron that must have belonged to an old mace head, seemingly attached to the infernal iron side fender of one of the machines, as if attracted to it by some force, but not welded. Two separate pieces of metal, not so much glued together by any substance, but just attracted. And you kind of, even without approaching it, like within 5 feet of it, you kind of feel a certain charge in the air.
I'll take it.
As you place your hand upon it, you feel the little zap of static energy built up in it. Not enough to harm you, just kind of a little jolt through your muscles that makes your jaw clench. The metal immediately gives, and you feel the full weight of it as it goes, and you feel it disattach from the fender. And you hold it in your hand. It's about the size of your palm, round, bumpy, like a mace.
Nice.
And whatever was holding it to the vehicle got discharged. So it's like a hefty, good 5-pound mace head. You look around, investigate some more. You just see a small hill with a few like scavenging, what looks like scavenging birds circling right above it. There's like crimson streams coming from every fissure with those red crystals kind of forming out of these fissures, and something green and round and shiny kind of seems to glitter between these fissures and being soaked in this red fluid. You see wedged in this rock is like a sword that got broken off at the handle and there's just a blade remaining.
Interesting.
Kind of feel this familiar stench, not sulfuric, not volcanic, but like very death like. Smells like a corpse.
Oh wow.
Seems to be like emanating from this hill.
Is it like a giant sword?
It's a hefty. It's like a devil-sized sword. You know, devils are like 8 to 10 feet tall, so swords are a little chipped a little bit in their size. And it seems to have just wedged into stone, got stuck in there. Somebody tried to pull it out and just broke it by the handle. So it's sticking out there a good few feet.
I'll carefully approach the hill.
Let me ask you this, Ian. Do you carry on you any loose ferrous metals?
Other than the mace head I just picked up.
Do you have soul coins metal?
Oh yeah, that I do have that as well.
Soul coins, curiously enough, as you quickly learn, are not ferrous. The mace head, however, you feel it's very subtle at first, but as you approach, it goes very intense very quickly, and then it just tries to leap out of your hand. You can try dexterity save to grab onto it, but it is very quickly pulled toward this hill with a very like resonating kind of noise. With a 7 dexterity, it just wedges out of you, sails through the air, accelerating through the air, and as it hits the rock, it doesn't make a rock sound, but a very metallic cling as it just attaches right to the hill.
Oh shit, that was probably loud.
And then you feel a tug wherever you keep the rod that you just acquired. You feel a little tug as it begins to get pulled as well.
Yeah, I'm not going near that.
I guess I'll move back away from this thing. Like, ah, shit.
Move back away. You feel the tug kind of went out, but that mace head is just stuck in there, and you can still kind of hear the echo of the metal. Would you roll for investigation 20?
Yeah.
Then you see it. The hill.
Oh shit.
Long legs, a neck, a head. This is no mountain. It is a behemoth of a beast, lying on its side, dead. A few patches on the ground around it have been dug up and covered up, leaving heaps of loose soil around. But for the hill itself, it seems to be a large monstrosity, quadrupedal, out of character dinosaur-like almost, with like a long neck, and it's just dead, covered in this metal-attracting scales. fishes of blood streaming out of it. Something gleams green in its midst.
Can I try ritual casting detect magic?
That will be 10 minutes plus the casting time, which is 11 minutes. You can certainly try. Just, are you going for it?
Wait, why is it 11 minutes? It says the casting time is only 1 action, so ritual casting would just.
So it's gonna be 10 minutes because you're ritual casting it. You're adding 10 minutes to the casting time. It does not take your spell slot, but it takes 10 minutes to cast it. A ritual. Yeah.
I'll go for it.
Sure thing. So as you set up, you can describe it if you want to describe how you do the spell. You set up the ritual space. Do you want to describe it or just move on?
Yeah, Aiden takes several steps back from whatever was pulling the mace, and from whatever pulled the mace from him tried pulling the rod, and when he notices that there's like that this hill is actually just like a giant behemoth dead, and he's like takes even more steps back. He's like, oh shit, like what the hell did we stop here for? And he decides like it's probably best to like try and get an understanding of what's going on here, and he's like very carefully just begins to sort of slowly speak the incantations of the spell, but not enough to like actually cast it as an action. It's sort of like he's like instead of speaking the spell itself, it's like he's speaking the sort of arcane ingredients that compose the spell over time.
Sure. Closing your eyes, concentrating on that spell. 10 minutes pass. You concentrate on the 8 elements of magic: conjuration, abjuration. No necromancy about, no nothing, no evocation, no school of magic you recognize, except for a small glimmer coming from the direction of this hill that seems to contain a mixture, a trace of all of them, not strong enough to be concentrated on one, but almost like like something has been touched by all these spells at the one time, and those spells have since dissipated, but a little mark has remained. It's coming from a very small source, very concentrated. Not the big result you expected from like, oh, this entire hill is enchanted. Whatever properties are to this hill are organic, were given to this creature by birth, not by the Feywilds or magic or anything like that. It wasn't enchanted in any way, it was just born this way. Upon it is something magical.
Can I send Spinner walking up toward the
For sure,
like
yeah.
towards the hill and like see through his eyes?
So you set the spider, little cyan colored glowing spider down, who quickly begins to skittle toward the hill. Your senses go dark. You go blind, deaf, before your vision shifts to that of Spinner, looking through his 8 eyes, through spider vision and spider sense. You skittle toward a thing. Are you going anywhere specific, or just seeking out the source of this magic?
Seeking out like the source of the magic.
You find... Spinner finds, rather, as he's walking around a corpse, he finds several things. First and foremost, he rummages on the corpse, and he's not effectively because he's a spirit more than anything. So it doesn't, send him flying and squish him against the the scales of this thing. He finds round, semi-translucent green stones here and there. These are lodged in the rock's crags in bunches, warmed by the crimson fluid's flow. He'll give him a few pokes, and you can feel that the stones are squishy to touch, jelly-like, with a smooth outer membrane. Seem to be like filled with some kind of fluid within. They're not the source of the magic, however. What?
So these stones are not gems?
No. Well, at least they're not as hard as gems. They're very lustrous, but it seems to be more like jelly sacks filled with some kind of fluid. Skittering around some more, you finally come across the source of this, and energy. Brass, again, rod. It's about an inch thick, 4 feet long, perfectly smooth, except for a knob at the top, which is engraved with 3 symbols. And this rod is just lodged between 2 of these scales, the same way the mace head was. And just glued to the surface by this strong force. Looking around some more, you don't seem to find any more, except for more rusted weapons lodged into this beast. These sack-like green orbs lodged in the wounds. Laceration marks left by other beasts upon this one. No other source of magic, though. Just the one rod.
If I might, may I strip may I get naked, please?
I'm not gonna stop you.
Oh yeah, Aiden will like tell them. Aiden would have like told
Get
them
naked.
beforehand. Like this thing just yanked my mace head. Don't get your weapons close to it.
Cool. So butt naked
armor.
Hector
Don't even walk towards it, Arwen, Bappo. You're gonna get stuck.
works his attempts to follow Spinner's path.
Sure. You see this purple squid-like slimy body. Just take it. You maneuver over to where I almost called him Skitters for some reason. Spinner is, yeah, Skitters. Whenever where Skitter's Spinner is, and you see what he sees. You're not affected by anything on this beast, for you're not wearing any metal. You kind of left your gear behind, but you do see the rod off in distance among these very familiar-looking green objects. Familiar, not in the sense that you've seen them before, but more like in their grossness, in the way they're arranged, in the way they're arranged in these like concentric circles that seem to radiate out in this arrangement that seem to have been placed there purposefully, and the slime that connects them all, and the very egg-like kind of feature to them.
Egg-like?
Just this outer smooth membrane with liquid inside. Some of them have twitching black masses within.
Can I cast Levitate on that rod?
Levitate, the spell would lift it.
Actually, I'll cast Levitate on myself.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Levitate over the things.
Levitating over the rendered flesh and scales of the beast, over these egg-like objects. I guess you maneuver your way over to the rod.
I then cast Mage Hand and try to grab the rod with it. Do I recognize the runes on the handle?
We'll Arcana check.
Arcana. Damn it, dice gods.
So, I cannot post this because it's online. It's not a source. I will post this in Discord. And I imagine that Hector will relay this information later. Unless you won't, in which case I'll just whisper you.
I'll tell it.
And you know what? No, let's do this properly. I'll just whisper you.
Okay.
Okay? Until
I'll
everybody
put it
can
on my
see.
sheet. Yep.
I don't think you can. Put it on your sheet. But, Hector, you see on the very end knob is a diamond-shaped diagram that looks like what I just sent you.
Oh, I see.
And it's like a 4-foot-long brass knob with like a circular, almost like a cane handle knob at the end. And there seems to be like a, from this close you can tell, what do you call it, a rivet? What do you have on a screw that makes it all spinny?
Just call it a rivet.
A thread.
Rivet works. Yeah, thread.
Like a spinny thread at the end of it, as if it's supposed to be screwed into a mechanism. So that's the rod. Mage hand, casting it, the spectral arm or the invisible force wraps itself around. You command it to tug. It doesn't budge. The strong, attractive force, even of that beast, seems to be applying more than 10 pounds of force.
All right, I levitate over. Then I give it a yank.
Give it a yank. You hear the crack of the scales. Keep pulling. Eventually, you break off the scales because they're old, and you feel this necrotic stench coming off from the now open sore where the 2 scales used to be. You got the rod in your hands. The 2 scales are still attached to it, kind of oozing this inner body fluid. But rod is in your hands.
Gross. I carefully fly around the egg-looking thingies and don't let the rod drip on them.
Okay, as you drift on by, one of them kind of gives off a small spastic quiver, but
Dinner will
doesn't
follow along.
Yeah. You see naked Hector come back with the rod in his hands with 2. Again, these scales are humongous. They're about from forearm to the tip of your finger each in length. Seem to have just been ripped from flesh and demonstrate this like attractive property to them.
Well, Viren, would you like one of these scales?
Sure, yeah.
Mostly in general. So this is what you see on the end of the knob.
Can I roll a nature check to see if I recognize the scales? Is they natural?
Can I get the mace head back, by the way?
Scales are natural. You don't even have to roll for it. You won't be able to fail at recognizing. They're not like the outer layer looks like it's naturally formed ferrous iron that's been magnetized by whatever inner workings, and now that it's disattached from body, the property is slowly losing itself. The scales slowly start to slide and glide off and fall to the ground, losing their magnetic property. Let's call it that. So the outside it's all organic, but the outside is kind of metallic ferrous material. The inside is more so flesh. Sorry, Eden, what was that? I thought Lorian asked me something. Okay.
I asked if I could get the mace head back.
In much respect, I'm sure Hector could have picked it up for you. Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Thank you, Hector.
Retrieving the mace.
By the way, are dinosaurs a thing that exists in D&D?
Yes.
Okay, so we don't actually know if they're dragon or
They're creatures of their distant planet Chul. I'll give you the obvious stuff about ruling, and maybe you can rule for more lore. But in short, there is, and you've actually dealt with Chul in this campaign. The commander who came to relieve Captain Zodge of his duties back in Baldur's Gate way back actually came from Chul, which is a very jungle-encrusted land where dinosaurs, or whatever they're called in D&D, exist and thrive and live alongside man as rideable mounts and everything. It's a whole thing. Retrieving the... I'm gonna shit. You each receive 500 experience for retrieving the rod.
Oh.
Going forward, actions will reward experience, combat will reward more, actively going out to get in trouble will earning more experience, but progress nonetheless does reward experience as we go along.
That's nice.
So,
Not engaging things gives less.
what do these, symbols mean?
I'll take a look at it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
over in
get
general.
unnaked, by the way.
Yep.
Oh.
So 3 symbols are etched on the top of the knob.
Do you want to
It has like a
subtract
helical
experience?
pattern on the very bottom of the rod. If you go ahead and roll me Arcana if you want to like inspect them to see maybe.
I'll give you advantage, fam.
Describe how he gets because he's proficient Arcana, so I know what's up. What are you? What sort of support are you giving him?
I
Bappo's like, I can
am
give
going
support.
to give him a Quailith memory from
Babbo
your
is
staff of
confused.
an encounter with an arcane object.
Why are you confused, Bubbo? Because everybody's quiet here, except for Aiden and Hector, who seems to be playing themselves.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around everything going on.
Okay, but so imagine like there's the head of the staff. Okay. So you guys got a staff, yeah? It's about like 4 feet long. Okay. There's the head.
Yeah.
On the very top of the head are those symbols. Okay. At the very bottom is a little helical shaped thread, like a screw.
Let's undo the screw.
It's a helical pattern on the brass. This whole rod is a screw. It seems.
Oh.
Get it?
Maybe this goes to something.
Maybe.
Maybe some giant's missing a bolt to something.
I mean, Bubbo's not too far off. It does seem like this is some sort of a device used to unlock something or be screwed into something, secure something. Judging by the lack of wear and scratches upon the ferrous metal, it must be magical in nature in itself.
But
Magical items don't get damaged.
Was magical.
Yeah, you can see, even though I'm inspecting that, you're not sure what kind of magic it is, but like just looking at it from the lack of damage upon it, even after all the yanking that Hector did and all the damage it must have went through on that beast over there, not a scratch, because magical items don't damage easily.
Huh. Okay.
With a 12, you can for sure tell that this is some sort of a cipher. No doy. It seems to be some sort of device used to unlock a magical locked gate. Usually lock gates are locked with simple lock spells, but this seems to be protecting something much grander. What can it possibly protect in this vicinity to your goal?
I go over. I have an idea. Can I borrow
Yes.
this?
Hector? Yeah, go. Take.
I go over to that sword. The one missing the pommel.
Okay.
Does it look like it screws into the sword?
It does. You see, walking toward the blade, roll me dexterity.
Oh, fuck me. Do I see it coming?
No.
Alright.
If you ever saw it, you would have not done this. With an 8, you hear a very familiar "Mmm," as you, wearing your full gear, get attached to the sword, sail toward it, and get impaled on it.
Okay.
You're wearing your full gear? Your full gear has ferrous metal on it?
I didn't know the sword's point was sticking out.
It's a broken blade.
Oh, I see.
You take 6 piercing damage as you get scathed by the side of a sword, and then you get attached to scales of this beast. And again, you just hear this resonating "dun" as the metallic bang
Oh, that
off.
must have sucked, just levitating in the air. Gone.
Can I see this?
Yes,
Can
of
I
course.
use? Can I use? Do I still have mage hand? Can I like screw it in with mage hand?
The rod is held in your hand, and it's attached to the other scales of this beast, and it's actually end up like shackling you with one on one side and on one hand to the beast.
Can I try to twist the
How much is it?
the knob with my hand, my one hand, like the thumb? Can I use a tentacle to twist the knob?
Because you're not wearing anything on your tentacles that's fair, except for the one that has a ring on it, which is just pulling your side of your mouth toward the beast right
great.
now. Yeah, you can try untwisting it. It does not twist, but because you're not wearing anything on your wrists, like that's ferrous,
Yeah.
everything you're wearing is on the bottom, you can have free movement with the one hand that's not attached to rod or holding onto it.
There's 2 extra numbers.
Okay. Do I press down on it with my thumb?
On the knob?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to seem to have any give or button or anything. Just the etched pattern. Does anybody wish to help Hector here as he's pinned to this beast?
I will.
Just
Do you have
start
any ferrous
fishing it.
metal on you?
Wait, one more time I spaced out on that part. I'm super sorry. Hello?
Hi.
You helping?
Yes.
How do you help?
I want to take it head on and try to take it out of you?
Take what out of me?
Is there something impaled in you?
Well, I mean, yes, but like I'm kind of stuck to it. I'm magnetized, stuck to it. Correct, Tom?
Yeah, no, you just see Hector from the waist down, where he's wearing first metal, whatever, boots, whatever, just stuck to this beast by the attractive force of it, and then the one hand is pinned under the rod he just took up, because it is as well a ferrous metal, and Hector is bleeding a little from the side where he was scathed by the open exposed blade of this broken sword, which from where you're sitting there, Hector, you can see, I forgot to mention, down the blade in the very middle, you can see is a place for this rod to go into and be screwed in, and then you get...
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Can I make a strength contest to try to get it there?
Sure, you can solve this problem yourself, yeah.
Cool. Strength save, athletics.
Let's check. You're not saving against anything. With 21, yeah, you managed to slowly rise, and as you rise, you hear the crack of the scales, and as you crack them apart from the flesh, and as it detached from their organic material, they slowly lose their properties. Slowly and steadily, you manage to break apart enough material that nothing around you attracts you. You put in the rod. You put in the rod, screw it in, wedge it out. You have it in your hands, and you feel this magnetic pull slowly begin to abate as you are. You realize that the creature was on death's door this entire time, and now you've kind of couped grabbed it with all this damage you've caused, that it slowly gives off a final breath, and you feel the magnetic pull ebb away as it just drifts to final rest.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought he was gonna let go.
Whack. I call that kill stealing, Eden.
Cool.
I do not like that.
No, it's fine. You don't seem to hear anything else except for the final long drawn-out breath of this beast. And you have it. You have the knob acting as like a sort of a pommel, and now that you've screwed in, you have the sword, which is, I don't know how to draw a sword, so I'll just draw it like this.
I love it.
Nice.
Glorious.
It seems to, the rod itself almost acting like a spear handle of some sort. To this, what do you call it? A halberd? Like that's a spear with like a long blade. It's essentially what this thing is.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. So more like
It's like a small glaive.
yeah, like a halberd, like a glaive. Yeah, sure. Something like that. Yeah.
Fancy.
Still those symbols on the pommel. Anybody else wish to do anything else in here?
No.
Hey, Raven,
Nope.
do you know Thieves' Cant?
Can we actually?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Do you recognize anything on this pommel?
Investigation? No.
So you don't need to roll for Thieves' Camp because you know it proficiently. You know for certain, 100%, that this is not Thieves' Cant. Or like I won't even say it's not any Thieves' Cant you know, because you know Thieves' Cant. This is 100% not Thieves' Cant.
I want to try and take some more scales.
Sure. You may. Yeah. You find that like you no longer feel the pull anymore now that the beast is dead, as it's slowly losing its what you realize was a defensive mechanism, some sort that has backfired upon it.
Hmm.
You can certainly take some scales though for study later on. Some of them are in pretty good condition. This piece of gargantuan is about 20 feet wide and even longer across. Again, very similar to the one that you saw kind of rounding the hill, the live one.
No.
Not too
Jeez.
long ago, yeah. This one has been dead for quite a while longer though, so it's not a fresh kill.
So I'm gonna add the weird thing to my sheet. What should I call it?
Weird thing.
The sword.
The glaive sword.
It's called
Sword,
key. It's
spear.
called key because I don't know what it is.
Key.
Key.
All right.
That's a good weapon name. It's like
E.
what's that one
Y.
where it's like Disney and like the dude has a key fights with Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Key sword.
You spend another half an hour. Nothing much happens with that 19 I rolled. Place seems pretty desolate. Now and then you hear the little squawk of abyssal chickens. So you see that these are much bigger than the ones you saw in the spawning pits. They're kind of more developed with teeth and claws at the end of their wings, and they seem to just scavenge the upper fleshy portion of this beast. But yeah, Aiden, if you want to take some scales, you can. Just add them in your inventory. I don't care how many you take. They all will probably be like 10 pounds for like a sample for whatever are your purposes. Because, you know, for the sake of 5e simplicity and expedition. Anybody else wish to do anything around this interesting specimen?
Oh no, never mind. It's not undead. Nope.
What now?
Okay. If nobody else wishes to do anything, do we leave? Do we travel on foot from here? Kind of on the horizon, kind of inspecting it, you see among the hills is a long stretching wall in the distance that seems to be tall enough for you to see it from 2 miles away, the way it is. I suspect your destination is just beyond the threshold.
I'd like to get our ship a little closer.
Okay. You mount the ship and you come to a set of infernal iron gates embedded into the earth, rising 10 stories high, 100 feet above. The wall seems to stretch endlessly toward the horizon on either side of you. The dark, rusted iron has large claw scratches, scorch marks, and dent marks along its surface. The infernal runes above the door spell out the destination beyond the gate's threshold. The pit of Shroomrath. Set into the gate doors is a large, diamond-shaped locking mechanism. The 3 symbols etched upon it.
I stick in the pommel.
Where?
In the diamond shape?
It's like hitting a sword against solid iron. Just
No,
cling
no,
and
no,
you
no, no.
take a little chip out of the very tip. Set into the iron gate is a large diamond-shaped locking mechanism. 3 symbols are etched around a 3-inch wide hole in the middle. 3-inch wide.
Yeah, I take the pommel,
Okay.
the rod,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Ding!
line the triangle diamond with the triangle diamond and put it in. The symbols line up.
It feels very satisfying, like you're about to bash somebody's skull in, but it doesn't go through. The pommel
Why?
is like fist-sized, while the rod is thinner, and it goes on toward the end of the blade.
I unscrew the pommel
Okay.
and the rod. And then I screw the rod in
Okay.
without
You
the
screw
pommel.
the rod in and it fits perfectly. Kind of going inside like a good 2 feet before you find the thread and you screw it in. It's fixed in place, and now you have the knob kind of aligned perfectly with the 3 symbols. 8 symbols are engraved around this magical lock. They look like shit. Recording pause. And recording's back. So we're gonna take a quick break. I think I'm gonna break this video into 2 parts then, as we will pick up from where we left off in part 2.